Yo, this is your boy Bronze, and this is the Niners All Day Show. Today I got Silverado Kev with me. What up? Silverado's on mute. Deon, 49er Deon, what up?
What's happening with you, Bronze? What's going on, Kev?
Good, man. Man, thanks for everybody that's tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe to our channel, YouTube channel. Plus, also follow these gentlemen right here. I'm going to link Deon's YouTube. I know Deon got a YouTube channel. Silverado, do you have a YouTube channel? Oh, man, he on mute.
Yeah, you got to unmute yourself, Silverado. There you go.
Okay. Oh, man, okay. Can you hear him?
I can't hear him.
Okay, Silverado, hey, you might have to step out real quick and try to hop back on. All right, cool. While he's doing that, man, check us out on the Patreon if you want to support the channel. Shout out to all the Patreon members. We got Rashad on the GOAT tier. We got Cynthia, Mariah, Ryan, Sean on the gold tier. Just much love for everyone that supported us. And, we're going to just have, a chat. I'm just going to wait for a little bit with Silverado Kev. But while we're waiting on that, I wanted to show Jason's going to be on in a second. I'm going to share the screen of Mr. Pettis because we don't got much to talk about him left. But Jason Aponte, I don't know if you saw this, Deon. Says Jason, he's over there in New York, saying, bruh, it's been a stressful few days with Dante crashing on my pad. I'm going to play this video real quick. Oh, man.
Millie Rock, hey.
Oh, man.
Hey, look, you got to stretch out the hammies. Stretch the hammies out. Stretch them out. Michael Jackson spin. Oh, there we go.
Oh, man. Was that Dante Pettis for reals?
That was for real Dante Pettis, yes. I've seen that video before.
I was like, okay, I couldn't tell, man. I was like, okay, is this him? Because, all right, yeah, we saw his shirt unbuttoned. He didn't look that ripped, man. I'm like, okay, he looked like a regular dude. He didn't look like NFL wide receiver. I mean, no wonder we cut him, man. But yeah, I was just like, okay, he looked like just like a regular dude on the sidelines, one of the staff members of the 49ers. Oh, Dante. Yeah. So,
hey, look, man, all you can do is pray for the brother. That's all you can do.
Yeah, that's all we can do, man.
Hey, I wish him the best.
I wish him nothing but the best. Pray for him.
He's gonna put some work.
Need it.
It was a little bit bad timing, though, man. We could have used him. We could have used him last game, right?
No.
You disagree?
No.
I was thinking that was probably his last opportunity. Just like Richie James had his opportunity. We all kind of knew Richie James could ball. He had most of his that playing time. That's what I was thinking with Dante. He could have had his chance, but oh well, it is what it is.
Man. I talked about Richie James. I said, hey, man, I like what I saw from him. You feel me? Hey, I'd love to see him out there. I said in my tweet, I'm not saying bench him. I mean, bench KB for him, but that give us some more touches. A lot of speed out there, man.
Right.
We supposed to get into Richie, and once we do, I got a nice little piece on that one. I drew that up. I saw the top. I was like, yeah, because I'm gonna get just to give you a small tidbit of that. Richie is way undervalued, and way underused.
Yes.
You have to you got to look at it from a standpoint of if you like a guy that can produce for your team, then put the man on the field. There's a difference with Dante Pettis. Dante was not producing for the squad. And that's why when he did get on the field, he was either blocking or he was just nobody. And it's not like anyone's afraid of him.
Right.
Hey, he's just out there, and we just paying him what? I think we was paying him like 1.5, 1.6 something.
Too much.
Too much. Right?
What broke the camel's back, man, was that fumble on the return on the Seattle game. That didn't help him a lot.
Yo, who jumped head first into oncoming traffic? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
He was like,
why
the hell with it.
He was just probably showing like, okay, I'm a man up. Like, I'm going to show you how I'm a man I am. And I'm going to just jump into this dog pile.
All right, Silverado Kev. Bron, you from the West Coast, right?
Yeah.
Kev, where you from?
I'm from San Francisco. Born and raised.
Okay, so then we all know who Sugar Free is, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Look, okay, Sugar Free said it best. You need to go running down the Interstate 10 east-west oncoming traffic until you hit something.
Right.
Oh, man.
Bro, I'm telling you, man, these dudes.
Hey, look, I hate to be like this, bro, but you know how you want to kick off and you got to follow the ball, and I was like, is that Pettis? Oh, Lord.
Right. Everybody thinks that. You're like, oh, God.
It's like,
don't just. It's like you think when he's on the field. When he's on the field, you just think, don't mess this up. That's all you say is, don't mess this up, please. That's what you're banking on.
That was the worst time to say, hey, here's the first kickoff return, brother. No pressure.
No pressure, yeah. It's my time to shine. Oops. Yeah.
And I meant any fumble.
Man. Yeah. Man, okay, so what did you guys feel about last game? Should it have been postponed to like today or tomorrow? You know, you're okay. You're okay that it was not postponed.
My biggest thing with it not being postponed is the fact that I'm a little different with COVID. I'm one of those people, you know, like I respect what Kirk Cousins said. Everybody threw him under the bus. You know, Kirk, you're this, you're that. Kirk didn't say nothing wrong. Kirk said, if I get it, I get it. If I die, I die. Okay? Like, if it's my time, it's my time. For me, I'm one of those people, I'm safe for my wife and for my family. But at the same time, like, I'm not finna walk around and run around with a mask all on my face all day, every day, when I ain't got nobody anywhere near me. I live in an apartment building. I take a walk outside. I don't wear a mask. Why? Because what am I going to do? Be afraid of breathing fresh air?
Right.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. But the thing is that nobody else tested positive. Everybody was good. And at the same time, we needed to play this game, because us playing this game gave us the opportunity to see Richie. And this game was an audition game. Because why would you play musical chairs with the offensive line like that? Why was Colton McKivitz playing? Why was Tom Compton playing? Why was Daniel Brunskill at center? Why are all these things happening? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Kyle said, you know what? I know I'm gonna take this L because we don't have the guys to be able to beat Aaron. We just don't.
Yeah.
Not on offense. We can't get in the shootout and win. I know we can't.
Right.
So
real quick, shout out to Sean. One word for Pettis, Dookie. Kev, I am born and raised and live in SF North Beach. Sorry, guys. I'm a diehard 49er. 49-year-old Mullins is sorry, guys. Facts.
Hey, I told my son, man. I'm a DC. I've coached my son for years. I said, hey, man, we out there with the JV right now. You know what I'm saying? We out there with the freshman team. You know, that's
true, right? Yeah. Deon, that's a good take. I didn't even see it like that. You know, I guess I was more like focused. We need like our best players because KB was out, Ayuk was out, like just a bunch of all these people that was under that, you know, protocol. But that was a good opportunity because really like, you know, like it was more of a realistic look. Like, okay, we're not going to the Super Bowl. We might have a slim chance to get into the playoffs. This is a good opportunity to see the rookies or the people that haven't had a chance of playing time to go in and do what they do. Plus, it's good reps in real life games. So that's a good take, man. And I commended like the first few plays. I mean, we were like they were playing hard, man. Like I was talking to Dre. Dre said, "Man, I commend these guys, you know, for playing, you know, their butts off." And they did, but you know it is what it is. You know, eventually it was a little bit too much for them. But Mullins though, man.
Here's the thing. I was just about to say that. Don't talk about don't down Nick Mullins for this. And let me explain. This is just my thoughts on it, and I'm gonna say why. Strictly based on the fact that you played musical chairs with the offensive line and you threw him out there with a bunch of receivers he has no rapport with. You gave him a game plan. Kyle said it. He said 85% of that game plan was for Brandon Ayuk. 15% was for Kendrick Bourne. Trent Taylor did absolutely nothing. River Craycraft had one chance to establish himself, and he failed at that, and then failed the rest of the game because you didn't see him. And if y'all look at the stats, Richie James had a better game than Devontae Adams, guys. Wow. Richie James had 9 catches for 184 yards, averaged 20.4 yards per catch and a TD. Devontae had 10 catches, 173 yards, 17.3 yards per catch, and 1 TD. But the yak, he put in his application for the Yak Bros. Richie James came out there and he killed them. When he came back, because you got to remember, what people forget is Richie is better than Trent Taylor. Way better.
Saw that now.
Way better. And he's more dynamic and he's faster. When people, I saw Grant's video on, that Richie is better than KB. Richie and KB are one and the same. The difference with KB and Richie is that KB is a red zone threat and Richie is a quick twitch guy. He's faster than Kendrick Bourne. If you look at the way that they play, they occasionally drop a pass. They both occasionally drop a pass because Richie dropped a few. And they both have that knack to make a ridiculous play. Richie was wide open all night. He stood in the middle with that catch he caught in the middle of the field. What is he doing?
Right. Sean says, I see all these 53 fans. Didn't know y'all were building this guy. The person, a rookie on our 88 Super Bowl team.
Okay, Sean, this is a Navarro Bowman jersey, not for Bill Romanowski. I love Romanowski, but this is a Bowman jersey. I will literally put my camera to the back and show you. Yeah. This is Navarro, Betty. This is Navarro, not Bill Romanowski.
Hey, got my Bowman too, but don't trip. It's all good.
Well, we're going to be talking to the linebackers in a second here, but yeah, we'll move along. Raheem and Deebo might be back against the Saints. Hopefully. What do you guys think about that?
Hey man, look, like Dre had said the last show, and it's fact, not fiction. Deebo is the most viable piece of offense because he can do so much. You know what I'm saying? And just having Deebo out there, you can send Deebo in motion. You're not giving the ball. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna serve a person. You know what I'm saying? And he do so much with him, man. And then, he a dog. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So and having Mostert back too, hey, I'll hate you to death. But nobody fear Hasty yet. You know what I'm saying? So having that offense back at almost full strength is gonna be huge. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nick Mullins or not. You feel me? And again, like I said in my tweet, I would like to see Mostert, Deebo, Ayuk, and James in the field at the same time.
Right.
There's a lot of speed, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Play your best player.
Burners, straight.
Burners, right. Deon, do you think how did Reed do last week or a couple of days ago? Jordan Reed.
Oh, Jordan Reed barely even played. There was another caveat that I'm going to go to. When they did what they did with this game, you know what Kyle was thinking? I'm going to keep everybody healthy. I'm going to give you as much time off as I possibly can, which is why it was good that we played this game when we played it. Because when we play the Saints, the Saints ain't ready for that. The Saints are thinking, damn, the 49ers got all them people injured. They got $80.8 million on IR. $80.8 million of the damn salary cap is sitting on the bench.
Facts,
what they're not ready for is KB and Ayuk and Deebo.
Yeah.
And Richie possibly jumping out. You know what I'm saying? VO3 231 was happening. But you got to remember, they're not ready for that. They're thinking we're all injured. And if you put all of those pieces on the field with Jordan Reed and you put the offensive line back the way it was, where Trent Taylor's there and Justice School isn't getting murdered and abused, beat like a redheaded stepchild, and then you put Grossu back at center and you put Daniel Brunskill back at right guard, and Laken Tomlinson is where he is, I guarantee you that offense starts to move. They start to make plays, and you will see them do things the way that Shanahan wants. I guarantee you that in this Saints game, they're going to think we're coming in injured and we're going to come back fully healthy. Why you think Jamar Taylor was in there when K1 was standing there fully healthy on the sidelines? You see what I'm saying? Those pieces.
I thought like K1 got a high ankle injury.
Nope.
No?
Everybody.
Okay.
Nope. Everybody. I'm telling you, the coaches were like, we're going to give this game up. Everybody's going to stay healthy. And when the Saints when we go to the Saints, we going to New Orleans, or we going in there and we going to catch them slipping. That's right, Big Daz. We're going to catch them right off guard. I guarantee when this game is played, when y'all watch it unfold, I'm like, man, y'all, you know what, man? I think Deon, he was on something. It's just watch. It's going to happen.
I'm telling you, and you on something in a few different ways. With all them new players out there, I was telling my son, I was like, yo, I put you the game plan was just get open. You know what I'm saying? Hey, just get open.
Hey,
right,
if you get open, Nick will throw you the ball. But when they saw Richie getting off like that, what happened? Richie took over. And the thing is that Richie's done that several times over. He's been that dude where if you watch the preseason from the year we drafted him, Richie will kill you.
Yeah.
Richie will literally go in there and get busy. But the thing is like I said, he occasionally drops a ball. So that's where him and KB are similar.
Right.
But they all do. I mean, you can't tell me that Jerry Rice didn't drop a football. You can't tell me that Chris Carter ain't dropped a football. I guarantee you Randy Moss dropped a few. I guarantee you T.O. dropped a few. He had the drops he's late in his career in a bad way. But it happens.
The team in the drops last year with 9. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, come on, man. Hey, I'm not saying it's cool, but it happens.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk a little bit about Mullins, man, because Mullins still has those bad habits. Just chucking up the ball just for whatever. That's just bad habits. He hasn't learned.
Now, hold on.
There's not much to say about it, but yeah.
On that first interception, I would rather he took that sack, but Jet got at least tipped over Smith on the edge. Like, he ran right by him. I'm like, Jet, at least pinch him or something. Tell him a story or something. Don't just run out there and just, he'll be all right.
Right.
Kev said the same thing. He took the words right out of my mouth. It was like we had some telepathic thing. He was on Professor X stuff or something like that. I swear that he was. Because I was about to say the same. You take the sack. That's what you do. You know that the hit's coming. You know there's no way for you to get that ball to that receiver properly. You take the sack. And then the other thing is, one or two things. Jarek, you either go and you turn from wide receiver to defensive back, or just try to tackle the guy. Because if you notice one thing about Jet McKinnon in that last game, because he fed him more than he went ahead and fed Hasty. And I know it's probably bothering a lot of people like it is me. But McKinnon, when he was running, I give him credit. He was extremely patient. He saw the hole close up. Nope, I'm not going there. I'm going this way.
Right.
He saw something where he was going a certain way. Let me stop. Boom, and he got going. So McKinnon has been doing what he needed to do to get by. But on that interception, you got to either fight for that ball because you know it's just going up in the air, or you at least got to try to get that dude, tackle him as quick as you can because you don't want him to get in the scoring position. But he's honestly, with that play, period, point blank, I watched it about 3 or 4 times. He should have taken the sack. That was the smartest thing he could have done, was taking the sack. Yeah. That would have been it. At least we could have given it the ball to Mitch Wish, and we know Mitch gonna punt that thing.
Yeah.
And you better be careful because if Mitch start running down there, he's gonna come at you like a missile and knock you out. We got the toughest punter in the league.
Yeah.
Toughest punter in the league. Okay.
And you know,
nobody better than
last year.
Pat McAfee could go ahead and go into wrestling, but Mitch Wisnowski, he for real. Playing that rugby, boy, that's football without pads.
Yeah.
On that same Deon, and I know it's hindsight, you know what I'm saying? But even if Jet would kind of just gave him a shoulder and then went out to the flat, it almost like a screen. It's all he had to do. Yeah. Give him a quick shoulder, give Nick a couple more seconds. Hey, Jet, dump it out there to him, you know. But
if he could have chipped him, you know he'd have chipped a little bit on that on that block. That would have helped. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
All I gotta say, Nick Mullins needs to step up. He needs to bring that BDN
big
and New Orleans. Because I don't want. Are you guys? Because for this game, I think most of the fan base tempered their expectations from the Packers game. right?
Mhm.
You know, we tempered our expect. We hope for the best, expected the worst. But what about this upcoming game? I think our expectation is a little bit more, right? Since like we mentioned, like most of the guys, some of the guys are coming
10
back.
days off.
10 days to get
Facts.
healthy.
There you go. Yes.
I expect to be very well prepared, and I expect to see, like my man Don say on my other show, do. I expect to see New Orleans Kyle from last year, and now we get to see New Orleans Nick. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna see a whole lot more systematic game plan. Because like you said, Deon, I'm telling you, bro, there's no way them players out there, Craig Kraft, Kevin White, all of them knew all the intricacies of the playbook. Like I said, just get over
God
it.
no.
Get over.
Yeah.
And then Kevin White didn't even get on the field.
Right.
He was on special teams. Kevin White literally was watching from the sideline the whole game. The man didn't get on the field. And you know why? Because he's so injury prone. They thought if they put him on the field outside of special teams, he was going to wind up getting hurt anyway, and they was going to wind up having to pay his ass. That's the whole problem with Kevin White. He is a first round, but do you know that man been in the league all these years? He ain't never scored a touchdown. He never scored a touchdown in the NFL ever. And he's on our team. I don't like that. But you're not gonna blame. The thing is, Shanahan didn't blame Nick for this loss. Shanahan looked real cool and real chill at his press conference. And you know why? He knew they was gonna lose this game. He knew it.
Hey,
because you should have let
replay.
Oh yeah. Basically, his son was at home. His son was at home playing Madden, feeding him into his mic and telling him, "Hey, Dad, you're gonna run this play." And then he was like, "Okay." And then they said, "Nick, run this." And next thing you know, it was done. But when you look at that game, you already knew, because what I've been saying, and 49er Mike from Nothing But Niners hit me to something. But for me,
Mike,
it makes sense to go back to a shutdown corner that travels with the best receiver. Because if you notice, when Devontae Adams was doing most of his damage, who's he being guarded by? Emmanuel Mosley.
Yeah.
He didn't do Jason Verrett like that.
Right.
Verrett got done like that when he was in the end zone.
Right.
And Marcel Harris let that touchdown pass to Valdez-Scantling because he just watched him run by. It was just like, "Hey, how's it going?" He's like, "Hey, where you going?" He was like, "End zone."
Follow me.
Simple. Follow me.
Follow me.
Yeah.
Melissa says, "Do we think because of the Eagles game, Nick is trying too hard to prove he isn't Jimmy and wants to avoid the same?" Irie?
No, I don't think. I understand her question. That might have been like a typo, man. Sometimes that autocorrect is horrible.
Yeah.
But what she's asking is Nick trying to basically prove himself not to be Jimmy? No. People out there watching, this game was set up for us to lose. This was an audition for people, nothing more, nothing less. You are not going to. Nick is not to blame for this game because Kyle didn't blame Nick, and Nick's not going to get benched for this game because all he wanted Nick to do was go out there and do what he could. You don't give somebody a makeshift offensive line and move offensive linemen in and out of the lineup and then tell them to start. I bet y'all right now $20 each that offensive line looks like it normally does this next game. Trent Williams, Laken Tomlinson, Ronis Grasu, because Ben Garland is not back yet, Daniel Brunskill, and Mike McGlinchey. And they will play the whole game. There is no way you are going up against New Orleans front with our receivers that we need actually healthy, and you're going to play around with the offensive line like that. Cam Jordan will eat you alive by himself.
Man.
And you don't think Quan want a little revenge for us trading him? You don't think Quan wanted? You don't think Quan going over there trying to get them dudes riled up like he used to get us riled up? You don't think he took the hot boys back to New Orleans where the hot boys originated with Juvenile, with BG, with Turk, with Lil Wayne? Come on now, man. He Cash Money was 2000.
Oh, hey, man. Okay, man.
They really out there.
Woo. All right, man. Moving along, we're going to talk about All-Pro Fred. I'm gonna show this to the stream right here. Let me see if we can hear this. Can you hear this?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Appreciate it for real.
Unfortunately, name recognition means too much. Ain't nobody better.
Appreciate it, bro. For real.
You're the best.
I appreciate it.
Everybody knows.
That means a lot.
Don't lie.
That means
Everyone
a
say,
lot,
what's up, future teammate?
Man. All right, so this is kind of like the main topic, I guess. And so where do we see All Pro Fred? I pull up this list here. Ranking. Let me see here. All-time 49er linebacker. Patrick Willis, number 1. Would you guys agree?
Of course.
Yes.
100%.
Chat, you guys agree with this? P. Willie. Oh man, I miss it.
Oh, yeah.
Patrick
You know,
Willis.
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially at the mic.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
See, Charles Hayes didn't play Mike though, man. So that's kind of unfair.
Yeah,
Hayes
right.
is-
So this is kind of skewed, right? Because I wanted to. This one's mainly all linebackers, the overall. But yeah, so I guess we'll run with that. Navarre Bowman, you guys think number 2?
Okay. All right. I can live with
All
that.
right. I can work with that.
Yeah, we
I
can
got
talk
on the
about
jersey. I
it.
should roll with it.
Charles Haley, Ken Norton Jr. Number 4, Fred Warner already up in here. Number 5.
This should have been middle linebacker.
See, Mike-
man.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all good.
I was trying to look it up.
Alden was a linebacker / DN, and he was
Right.
an outside linebacker
Yeah,
in,
that's what I was
in a
thinking.
4-3 system. So,
Yeah.
I mean, was he a great linebacker for it?
Right.
Boy, that's the best thing smoking since Lawrence Taylor. Alden
man.
was a beast.
Right. In a minute, I guess we'll go through this list and we'll talk about who we think like is the top 3 all-time middle linebacker for the 49ers. Dave Wilcox, I'm sorry, like that was kind of before my time.
Well before mine.
We know who he is, though.
Yeah, we know who he is, but that's
Right,
well
right.
before our time.
Ahmad Brooks.
Yeah, he was an outside linebacker.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Tina Turner.
Man,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Julian Peterson. Woo! I remember Julian Peterson. Yeah, he was a beast.
Man, yes.
Peterson. Jeff Olbrich. He's the defensive coordinator now in Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken.
Crazy.
I remember Olbrich.
Crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely Jack Reynolds.
Mm-hmm.
This guy.
Did they really put Borland on the list?
Yeah.
Did they really take that man off the list?
hey,
Take
Yeah.
Chris Borland off the list.
I mean,
Don't do that.
yeah. I mean, okay, yeah. A lot of the fan base not really liking Chris. I mean, okay, like he played good, but the way he did us like that, his bounce, it was a waste of pick.
Let me tell you this, and I'm gonna say this, and I want everybody to take this with a grain of salt. I don't rank players off potential. I don't like potential, which is why I said for the last 2 years to cut Jerick McKinnon. I don't like potential, which is why I've been saying that Jalen Hurd is as fragile as a damn egg. Because I don't like potential. I don't want to know what you can potentially do. I want you to do it. I want you to show it on the field.
Right.
We don't pick players to sit them on the bench. When we drafted Kentavious Street and he sat and we knew he was going to be on IR, wasted pick. And as you can see, ain't panned out into much or nothing. Jerick McKinnon just showed up. And he's been there for 2 years sucking up money in cap space and a roster spot. You see what I'm saying? Jalen Hurd, 2 years, nothing. Everybody's like, oh, man, but did you see that play against the Cowboys? That is one game and a preseason game at that. If y'all don't stop, you know what, riding that man for a preseason game, I don't care about his potential. I want to see what he can do. Chris Borland, we saw him play, but Borland did what most of the other football players did. He got smart. He said, you know what? I know this concussion protocol. They don't care about us. This is a business. We are walking business assets in the NFL, and you are there until you can't be there. And when you aren't there, we'll find someone else. That's the mentality that crept into his brain when he saw the result of the concussion protocol. Right. And that's why I say take him off the list, because he was only there for what? Not even barely a full year?
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question for y'all. And some of y'all may jump down my throat for this, but I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Kev will lie for you before he lie to you. But in terms of this list, one thing Fred Warner does that should have him at the top of the list for all these guys, even Willis and Bowman. He is the best cover Mike linebacker on this list. You know what I'm saying? Even Willis and Bowman and all their greatness, they weren't very good in coverage. You know what I'm saying? Willis was fast as hell, but he just wasn't very good in coverage. He didn't like your block off.
Yes.
But he wasn't real good in coverage. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he's the new he's the new breed of linebackers, right? Like he's gonna be the prototypical linebacker from here on out, right? Because he can cover that. That's
sideline to sideline, and he can cover.
Yes. Right. What do you guys think about Greenlaw? Do you think he's gonna be? He's good at sideline. Do you think he's gonna develop and be a good tandem with Warner?
Hey,
okay, yeah.
What was that stat that somebody put out last week? Like 122 snaps. He's missed like 3 tackles.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, the Dre Greenlaw. The reason that they traded Quan Alexander was because of Dre Greenlaw's progression so quickly. They didn't anticipate that. They anticipated drafting the 5th round dude that was gonna come in, who was based off of high characters, help the little young white girl get back to her dorm safely. Had her daddy on Twitter putting him out there saying this is a good man. Like they anticipated, they drafted a high character guy that could play football and would progress, but they didn't know he was going to progress this fast. That's why Quan is gone. Other than that, Quan would still be here.
Right. All right, so let's go down the list here. We got Mike Walter, Lee Woodall, Gary Plummer.
I remember Plummer.
I like Plummer.
I'm sorry, man. The word plumber, I go to a whole nother place, brother. I'm wired that way. That's West Coast for you. I'm wired that way.
Derek Smith, Willie Harper, the Keo Spikes. I remember when Bowman kind of took him off.
Keo's iffy for me, and the reason I say that is because Keo made his bones elsewhere. Yeah, he was great elsewhere before he came to us. He wasn't a 49er for long enough for me to consider even put him on the list.
Right. Man, look at this guy.
Aaron Lynch.
Yeah. Can't say too much, but yeah, it was.
Yeah, I'm gonna breathe on that one because if I get started, I won't stop.
Did you see my face?
Yeah. Milt McCall, Gerald Hodges, Michael Wilhoit.
What?
Hey, man! At this point, this is.
Yeah, we're we
too far down.
We're far down.
We might want to stay at just the top 10.
There you go. Yeah, we're too far.
It's just a list at this point.
Oh,
when I saw Michael Wilhoit's name, I said, I think we just slipped down.
We're too far. Oh man.
Big play Dre and all pro Fred are gonna be great for years to come.
Yes.
Beautiful.
And I'm telling you, man. Can we start going to my favorite defense at the DC? Put the best players on the field. I want to see a 4-2-5, baby. I want to see the very small out there as the 5th DB. Go 4-2-5, baby. I mean, why not? Right.
Because we were trying to have more as a CB anyway. So yeah, might as well try that out. Jeez.
You can play the same. Hey, when Marcellus Harris got cooked last game, I was like, why is he out there still? It's a very small on the sideline playing checkers.
Yeah. Shoot. All right, Sean again, bro. Quan is gonna get juked like he did when he here. Hurry up and miss. Oh, he will be hyped. I like Quan. The horrible angles. Glad Quan is gone.
There were times he had times where he did have bad angles. I can give him that. He did have times where he had bad angles when he was tackling. That was something that was definitely noted for Quan. When we first got Quan, I was highly upset because I looked at his injury history and I'm like, another injury-prone player.
Yeah.
John Lynch was starting to remind me of the name that we don't say in here, but the previous GM, that trash GM that was as worthless as I don't know what. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna say his name, but
we try to draft players, who are gonna fit the scheme, and they can do anything that we need them to do. I had a Twitter account and I was gonna open it up for questioning, but I didn't have enough followers. So yeah, we're gonna make it happen.
Come on, people. This don't make no sense.
Hey, like you were saying about Quan, I love Quan energy, but like you just talking about his angles. So we picked up a guy who clearly he geometry, and he was always hurt.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
But as far for me, the list, I'm gonna have to say my number one Mike linebacker goes to Patrick Willis. The spot that he is at is for him, and the reason is because Patrick Willis was a transcendent talent that you will not see again. Patrick Willis was a baby Ray Lewis. Willis came into the league, and the first highlight I ever saw of Patrick Willis, because I was watching the draft when we drafted him, and the first highlight I see is him running down a receiver with a club on, like a club cast.
Hey,
And I'm not gonna what? But the thing about Patrick Willis was he still had the chance to play in an era where he could be him. He wouldn't survive in this era. He'd be getting penalized left and right. I remember Patrick Willis, somebody trying to hurdle Patrick Willis, him catching them in midair, putting his hand into their chest and slamming them to the ground. Patrick Willis would come off that edge and blow your mind. And he had come up that gut and do it too. The thing with Patrick was he knew football. He knew it. And you couldn't deny it. We had Willis and Joe Staley in that same draft, and it was a great thing because we found a left tackle for until last year, and we found a Mike linebacker that lasted us as long as he could go. We understand that he stopped due to his feet and everything, and I get it. I understand it. Injuries happen to people, and sometimes it takes you out of the game. But Willis, he was a legit 4-3. Willis moved. So he was so fast, bro. And linebackers would tell you, running backs would tell you, I'm coming out. I don't want to meet him in the middle. I ain't got time for that. No, thank you. There are some people that you just don't want to get hit by. I mean, you can go up the middle and say, I see this guy, I'm gonna truck this dude. But you come up that middle and you see Patrick Willis in his prime,
you're like,
you almost want to turn around.
Yeah.
Hey, no, this is a flea flicker. Here, I don't want that. What are you doing? No, you're supposed to run up the gut. Did you see who was in the middle? I ain't got time to be getting hit by Patrick Willis today. It give me a damn concussion, not the right side.
Like, oh no.
Okay.
Right.
None of that smoke.
But Fred, I could give Fred was, for me, I'd put Fred at like a 2 or a 3. And the reason I say that is because of his versatility. Fred Warner right now is leading our team in tackles, and it ain't even close. The man has 69 tackles. He has 3 passes defense, 2 interceptions. I mean,
man,
you just can't catch a better dude in coverage. And for us on defense, when we played the Packers, he showed up. He was tackling. He was a tackling machine. Every time somebody got tackled, I thought it was Fred. Looked like it was a bunch of 54s on the field for defense. Outside of Jordan Willis with that 1 sack.
Man.
About players, but players like him need to work with Visa because they got that area you want to be defense, baby. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let's get it all over the place. You know what I'm saying? So I feel good moving forward. I do. I know the season ain't going away.
Yeah.
It was supposed to, but I feel good moving forward that we can still competitive football, and see how things shake out.
Right.
To be a little bougie, I concur.
Man, so he's gonna get the bag. He's gonna get the major bag next season. You think
that bag is coming?
It's gonna be the talk, right? Just like how we had the Kittle talk this past season.
Why do you think that Quan is gone? Quan is gone because they thought Drake progressed more than enough to take his spot and do what he needed to do. And Quan was expendable. You got to remember, we lucked out with getting this contract off our hands because it was a bad contract because we gave him way too much money. But good old Parag Marante, he's got a bunch of outs. Literally, we can
right.
get out. I think we can get out of Jimmy's contract next year for pennies on the dollar. We can get out. We can
Yeah.
pay him what, $3-4 million. It's a wrap.
Wait. We're gonna
Yeah,
talk
we-
about that in a minute too,
Yeah.
man.
It's easy. But yes, that's why, and that's part of the reason why Fred's gonna get paid, because you don't have Quan's money on the books anymore. And I can tell you, I believe if they're smart, they will get rid of D Ford, because you'll open up more cap space, because he ain't doing nothing, sitting there on the sideline getting paid.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. He's stealing.
Just right, you're a thief in the night. Came in, sniffed it, just snuck the bag off. He walked in, he said, "Yeah, I'm gonna play for you guys. I'm gonna do everything. I'm gonna be the man that you need." And then when he was in there, he looked great. And the next thing you know, he missed I don't know how many games. And then he came in this year, and now he's gone again. And everybody's going, man, when he gets on the field, he's just undeniable. He ain't on the field. You can't be that great if you ain't on it.
Is availability.
Right. All right, so when Bosa comes back next year, who will be on the other side? Because it's going to leave a lot of pressure, right? Bosa's going to unlock that. Are we going to keep Deion Jordan, Kerry Hyder? Do you think Kerry Hyder is going to stick around? And if he does, will his numbers bump up because of Bosa? Or should we?
Go ahead, Silverado Kev. Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping that Blair can come back healthy. Because Blair get busy too.
Yes.
Is Blair
forgot about him? Oh my God.
A certified bona fide edge rusher? No, but he get busy though. You know what I'm talking about? He definitely holds that edge down. I tell you what, I don't want to see Eric Armstead on the edge. I tell you that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And hey, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen with that either. You know what I'm saying? I personally would have kept Defoe, over him. I mean, people have different opinions on it, but like I said, Ronald Blair, and hopefully we draft at least a project edge rusher or somebody, or maybe somebody in free agency. But I do expect this pass rush to keep getting better. This Kellogg to keep getting better. Hyder gonna be back. Hyder holding it down. You know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna just find edge rushers, around the corner. You feel me? So hey, hopefully Blair can be healthy and he can help contribute this year.
I would say I would agree with that. I think that once Nick comes back, the person on the edge is going to be somebody new. I don't believe that D Ford winds up coming back, because just being 100% honest, not even joking, they said that the injury that he has possibly is career ending anyway.
Right.
Because you got to remember, when you have football is full of crazy injuries. Look at what happened to Trent Taylor. The man just couldn't catch a break. Every time he got that foot repaired, he got another infection. And they had to keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. And it was unfortunate, because Wyatt ruined his chances. And now when you look at it, I mean, you look at Richie James and you look at Trent Taylor, you automatically can tell, I need Richie James. But when it comes to having Nick on the field and having another person on that edge, I honestly believe that they'll try to find an edge rusher, most likely in free agency, and they'll start using Eric like they used to before, where they flip him outside and flip him inside, because that's where he makes his money.
Right.
He makes his money going in and out, being in different spots, not in one spot. Him and Defoe's stats are fairly similar right now. Defoe isn't balling like crazy, but the thing is, his whole defense is balling. Darius Leonard and them boys, Malik Hooker and them dudes, they're in Indianapolis. They are working. That is a badass defense. Yeah. But I would say that when Nick comes back, we will most likely find somebody in the free agency. And I do believe, honestly, that Kerry Hyder sticks around, because he's our only bright spot. He's got 4.5 sacks.
Yeah.
And the man can play. Play. I give him credit. Right. Kerry Hyder will ball. Yeah, actually, I think I think Vader Joe 71 is on. I think he is on pace for about 10.
If you get that 10, that'd be a win. Yeah. That would be
that's a win for me.
Yeah.
And we paying him.
Someone wanted to pay what's her boy name? The Dreads. He in Tennessee now. He came to Seattle. Now he in Tennessee. The boy.
Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah, somebody don't want to pay him.
Clowney.
You know what I'm saying? I
let me
Yeah.
tell you something. Clowney, another injury prone dude. He's been injury prone since he came into the league. Okay, you got great potential, but Clowney is another dude with just raw talent and athleticism that's unparalleled. So it's kind of hard because you see that and you figure, man, I could just unleash that freakish athletic ability and do that. See, once Kinlaw gets his like once he starts to become a better football player, and he combines that with his power, he's going to be monstrous. Wow. And I'm not saying he's not doing well this year, but he hasn't gotten home. What the one thing is he could create pressure, but he never hits home. And we need him to hit that button to hit home. But he's just got to continually work on technique, and that will continually help him to grow. But I do believe that once Nick comes back next year, we're good. But honestly, look at Nick. He gave us one good year, injured. He's got an injury history towards ACL in high school. He had that core muscle injury in college. These are not things that are uncommon, people. But I'll tell you this, earlier you said something that struck me, Kev, and I'm not going to lead on too far into this because I don't want to, take us off our path. But I'd like to see Jonathan Cyprien and Tarvarius Moore on the field. As the safety duo. If Tart's hurt and you got turf toe, go sit out. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you right now, the one reason that you want Moore on the field is because of his speed. Why do you want Cyprien on the field? Because we're going against the Saints. They're going to throw the ball. Yep. And you know who's terrible in pass coverage? His name is Marcel Harris. Yeah.
Cyprien, I mean, yeah, he's from what we're talking about on the practice.
Way better in
coverage.
Pass pro.
Yeah.
Way better in pass pro. Pass coverage, sorry.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to add this from Mr. Flores. Who's the bigger bust, Pettis? Witherspoon.
Pettis.
They both soft, but yeah.
They both soft, yeah. The difference, the softness is different though. Well, actually, no. The softness is exactly the same. I take that back because they're both soft up here.
Yeah.
Here. This is where you're weak. Because what happened to Kello first 4 games of last year? He was balling, wasn't he? As soon as he got injured, man, I don't know if I'm gonna get my spot back. What should I do? Come back and play like trash and let Emmanuel Mosley steal your spot. Right. And then Dante Pettis. His interview was the worst interview I've ever seen from a football player in my life.
That press conference?
Bro, you come in with a tie-dye shirt with a little kitty cat on the pocket.
Yeah.
And you come out your mouth to say, I didn't know that Kyle was coaching me hard because he wanted me to play better. I took it personally. From children, if you played any kind of sport, I ran track. I wasn't big enough for football. I wasn't big enough for basketball, So what did I do? I was fast. People knew it. When I was a kid in elementary school, what my mama told me to do? When a bully came to me, she said, run, they can't catch you. So what did I do in elementary school? I ran, and I never got caught. I ran circles around one of them. He almost got dizzy. But what the issue is when you're taught, just sports in general, long story short, you are taught that coaches will coach you hard because they know you have potential. If a coach ain't coaching you hard, 1, you already reached your potential, or 2, you don't have it. He had it. The athletic ability was there at the end of his first season. The man showed it to us.
Yes.
He had a nasty stiff arm against one of them damn Seahawk defenders. A real nasty one. But you know what? He regressed. And the softness up here is what led to his demise as a player on the field.
Man.
If he could have gotten over that, then he wouldn't have allowed Deebo to come in and Deebo him for his spot that was supposed to be his. Because that's what Deebo did. Deebo rode a bike onto Levi Stadium field, and he looked up and he was like, and he walked right in and he said, "Who's Dante?" And Dante was like, that's me. And he was like, "I'm starting your spot." He was like, "Oh, okay. You can have it."
Oh man. I think Harris and Quan studied film together. Oh,
Hey, you know
Sean,
what?
maybe. Well,
Where's Sean? I think Sean.
If you look at that play, Marcel Harris ran up to, was it Scanley? He sprinted up to him and looked at him and was like, oh, you gonna go this way. Get on your horse. You feel me? Oh, man, Marcel Harris has flashes. I'll give him that. But coverage,
right, yeah.
ain't his
Run
strong.
game. He's if we could tell when hey, you never know, man. Hey, I don't
For
know.
real.
He probably could.
We need Kev on there.
I tell you this, the only player I know of that could bench press ridiculous amounts was Larry Allen. Larry Allen could bench press 600 pounds.
Damn.
Well, strong.
I'm talking strong. When they tell you cock strong, that boy cock strong right there. Tell you, and it was crazy, but I think Sean liked to donate just purposely so he could ask something crazy. I be watching the show the other day. Try to have me weak. I'd be dead, man.
All right, so let's move on to Richie James or Trent Taylor, man. I mean, I think we pretty much talked a bit, but I want to get more into the
Kev face.
Trent Taylor is pretty much out, right? I mean, okay, so we got Deebo, Ayuk, KB, and Richie James. I think that's pretty much the main team core. You know, it's just so, one season to the next is so different because remember during training camp, like, Trent Taylor was like the best wide receiver in training camp, and but like look at now, man, he's about to be Dante Pettis too. So, yeah, I guess that's pretty much all.
I'm a sneak in real quick here because since we were talking about that topic, I figured I'd go ahead and go with this, and I'm gonna just give y'all some stats. Trent Taylor has a career 79 catches. He's averaging 8.97 yards per catch. His longest catch in his career was 33 yards. And he has 3 total touchdowns. And he's fumbled 2 times in his whole career. Then you flip the script. You go over to Richie James. And Richie where is he at? Doggone it. I had his stats. Nah, that's kicking punt return.
Richie Bourne.
Either way,
it sounds like Richie James has better.
Richie's just better. I'm sorry. I don't even have to do it. Richie's better.
Yeah.
The thing with Richie is what Richie has that Trent doesn't have is Richie has the speed, he has the quick twitch ability, and he has the availability. Trent Taylor has not been available. And the thing is you build rapport with people by having them on the field, and if you're not able to be on the field, you can't do anything. Yeah. I honestly thought when Wes Welker came that Trent Taylor would turn into Wes Welker Jr.
Right.
I honestly thought that was the initial thought process. Yes.
Right.
But then you know what happened? Deebo came along and Wes Welker was like, I got a black version of me, and he runs like a running back. I'm done.
Backs.
I'm done.
Oh my God, I gotta be hyped.
Trent was walking up and he was like, "Hey, what's up, Wes? We gonna run some plays? I'm with Deebo right now, man. Man, go over there. Just run a post route or something. Run a curl route."
Taylor and then mustache can go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Richie's ability for the punt and the kick return, and like I said, that quick what he showed, Richie sold himself. And he definitely made himself sell high. You know what I'm saying? When they talk about stock up, stock down on like NFL Network and all these shows, stock went ridiculously through the roof for Richie James, and it dropped for Trent Taylor. Trent Taylor has not been healthy. And I'm going to tell you, you won't see him on this team next year.
Right.
He's going to be gone.
Yeah. Here's my question about Richie James. And I love him. He's explosive, but I can't get busy the way he was getting busy after the catch on punt returns. You know what I'm saying? In the return game, it seemed like he left the sideline. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like he kind of saw it. He kind of reminded me of Ted Ginn
Yeah,
if he contributes in the pass game. But if he get busy like that in the return game, oh man, whoop, come on, baby.
Yeah.
But the thing is the returners. Yeah, the returners of today don't have the vision that the like the Devin Hesters and what was that dude in Kansas City, the human joystick?
Yes.
Dante Hall. Those dudes had vision. They were looking for the ball, but they figured out where it was coming from.
Right.
They knew who was going to be where, what guys that ace on special teams. They knew where Raheem Mostert was, so to speak, because he said he was the gunner.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, they knew those things. They saw that stuff. So it's a situation where, you know, he has to start getting that field vision and probably work with some of those dudes. Call Devin Hester. Call Dante Hall. These dudes are sitting at home with nothing to do. They will, I guarantee you, they will teach you the ways of the force, young Padawan, and you will learn. And you will get, I'm telling you, when you get on the field, the force will be with you, and you can inflict that on anyone because the punt returns is all we got. Kick returns, man, they always go out the end zone. Since they moved it up 5 yards, they'd have messed us out of those possibilities of returns. But it's for me, cut and dry, Richie.
Right. All right, we got Sean again. Shout out Sean. Nah, guys. Cannon is 10 months. Kanan is 10 months now with him all day. For some reason, he doesn't get my lame jokes. Believe me, I know they are lame when I see them. Straight up. All right, here's another.
Man, you got the dad jokes all you want, bro. I got dad jokes too. My kids look at me like I'm crazy. You know, my son, he ragged on me because my hairline receding. I'm 39. And he'd get on me and, Dad, look at your hairline. I said, you know what? You're looking at the future, boy, because that's what's to come.
There you go.
My child.
Yeah,
so at the end of the day, if it's happening to me, it's possibly going to happen to you, kid.
Oh, man.
You know, Silverado Kev ain't got that issue, man. He over there with the dreads. He's, you know.
Man.
I'm 42, bro. I'm blessed to still have all my hair, bro.
Yeah, man.
Straight up.
Hey,
all right.
Somebody in the comments asked me, was I from the South? Nah, bro, I'm from the South. I'm born and raised in the Bay, San Francisco all day.
SFC.
I just got that gift of gab. You feel me? I mean, I can put some words together.
Hey, look, man, that's what happened when you're in the Bay, when you're listening to 40 all the time, man. That mouthpiece going to keep the trigger down. You know what I'm saying? See, I'm from LA, so when that lingo and that gift of gab and that mouthpiece, I learned that from all up and down the coast. You know what I'm saying? I've never been to the Bay. I've never been to Frisco. I ain't never been up there, none of that. Yeah. But I can tell you my link to that was the music from the Bay. It was the E40s. It was the Mac Dre's, you know what I'm saying, and the dudes out there. That was my link to the Bay. And then I had a couple of cousins that lived out there and whatnot. But 40 was my biggest link to the Bay, and he was my biggest inspiration. His wordplay, just what he does, man, and how he carries himself, you know, and then just that lingo, man. He's talking on my catcher. What's a catcher? It's your phone, fool. You didn't catch the metaphors, the bars. He be cooking.
Man. Hey, you heard Grant has he was on Jason Aponte's podcast once. Man, they were going at it like I should link that episode of podcast.
Grant has a good love Grant has a great love for music. Yeah. I know that for a fact. He has a great love for music. I've seen some of his tweets. He has a great and Grant, hey, I didn't think Grant knew sugar free. Grant knows
Yeah.
Yeah, straight up,
that free. He know about that free.
I met Grant last year, bro, at a meet and greet when we played Pittsburgh. Man, Grant cool as hell, man.
Yeah.
Just looking at him, I was like, what you know about sugar free and all? Okay.
He
you got the black friends, huh, Grant? You got a few black friends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, look, that go back to Kings of Comedy. Grant got Negro tendencies now.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right, here's a good one right here, man. What's the QB plan for next season, guys? We just acquired Johnson. We got 4 QBs. What do you guys have a plan? What do you guys think we should do? Yeah, for next season.
No, go ahead, Silverado Kev. I got to stew on this one. I've been stewing on it all day, but I'm trying to bring it together.
I'm gonna say it first. not Jimmy. I'm sorry, you know. And
Okay.
I've
Yeah.
said this on many occasions via tweets or whatever. I've even written when I was writing for Another Nation. I said in a couple of my articles, Jimmy's limitations and inconsistencies limit his offense and make the offense inconsistent. You know what I'm saying? It just he has played some good ball. You feel me? But
Right.
it's just certain things that he can't do. It's like, oh man, come on, baby.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and like Grant coined the old good Jimmy versus bad Jimmy. Look, I said this to him. He is who he is. You feel me? And people talking about, oh, he's not a finished product. A finished product? He's been in the league 7 years, 8 years.
Yeah.
What you mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And look, man, and for all y'all talking about the injury, he had footwork issues and mechanic issues before the damn injury. So stop that. Put that in park. I don't want to hear that no more. He's had some same footwork issues before he got hurt.
Right.
Decision making and all that. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate what he's done so far, but man, give me the $24 million back.
Right. All right. So that being said, what do you think we should do then? Should we try to get a free agent, a vet, a trade, or draft a QB, or both? What you think?
But I say both. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to take up all the time on this subject, but I say both. Try to bring in one of these free agent guys, you know, who are gonna make a difference. Hey, I take a healthy. Honestly, I would. I take a healthy back in here. You know what I'm saying? I've heard Sam Darnold's name around. I'm not really feeling that too much. I take Matthew Stafford before I take Sam Darnold. You know what I'm saying? So, but in terms of who to bring in, hey, I like the boy from BYU. I do.
Yeah.
That boy nice, but I still should have bring in a vet in free agency. You know what I'm saying? And just sit that quarterback behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DR, you got an idea?
All right. For me, I'm gonna say this. I've been watching, a lot of people reading a lot of articles on moving on from Jimmy and everything like that. My take on this is very simple. We need to move in the direction that the league is going. We need to move in the direction of a dual threat quarterback. Yeah. Jimmy is not a dual threat quarterback. Does he have his little miniature moments where he runs? Yes, but that's because he has to. And or because he knows we need a first down or something. Jimmy has a bad problem when the line isn't playing well. He gets happy feet. When you don't set your feet to throw, that ball will sail. It will not go where it's supposed to go. And you will look like a bad QB. And what people didn't realize is, do you know that before Jimmy Garoppolo got injured in this last game, the man that threw 3 interceptions and no touchdowns the last couple of games? Yeah. Everybody absolved him of those interceptions against who was it that we played? It wasn't the Dolphins. It was it the Dolphins? Yeah, they absolved him of that. I'm not gonna give you that. No, don't throw a pick. That's wrong. Don't throw a pick. Picks are bad. That gives the other offense an opportunity. To me, I don't like the Sam Darnold talk. Sam Darnold is trash, and you ain't never seen a USC quarterback win the Super Bowl. Man. I know that for a fact. I did my research, and plus I'm a diehard UCLA fan. So, and UCLA has won one, i.e. Troy Aikman. So, for me, it's a situation where Matthew Stafford don't want it because you got a bad back. The minute you get hit wrong, you're gonna be out, and we're gonna be going to the backup any damn way. The only person that I can think of that could possibly come here is there's 2 quarterbacks, Matt Ryan or Aaron Rodgers.
Woo!
And the reason I say that, let me tell you this. Matt Ryan, the reason I state him is strictly based on the fact that Matt knows the system. And if you put Matt here with the weapons that we have, he's going to be perfectly fine. Matt Ryan ain't never had no tight end like George Kittle. Never. He's had a receiver named Julio Jones that is a monster and is to be respected top 3 receiver in the league on a year in and year out basis unless the man's on the sideline, which he's not on that sideline very much unless he's just not on the field because defense is on the field. But if you give Julio, if you give Matt Ryan what we have and the line that we have, and you actually can keep Weston Richburg greedy self, he's another waste of space. If you actually get him to be on the field, I see you looking a little tight about that one, but Richburg ain't been healthy. He has not been healthy.
No. Yeah.
So
No,
I get
agree,
you,
I agree.
but I would say it's either, and the reason that I say A-Rod is because A-Rod, since he was a little boy, wanted to play for the Niners.
Come back home.
When he walked up to the line, when he walked up to the line and he smiled, I wanted to punch him in the face last night because you don't smile. That's bad sportsmanship, sir. And I know he walked up to Fred and said, "Hey, man, you the greatest linebacker out there, blah, 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 whoop-de-whoop." Fred should have gave him a swift little nudge to the, with his elbow to the ribs. Yeah, you're a good quarterback, but you smile like that again, and I'm going to knock your block off. Have some respect when you're on my field. You dig what I'm saying? So I say it's either Matt Ryan or Aaron Rodgers because I'm going to tell you right now, if Rodgers is still mobile enough to do what Shanahan wants to do, and he's way more cerebral than Garoppolo is. Everybody knows that. I tell people all the time, people get into arguments with me because I say this, and they say, well, who's the best quarterback in our division? Russell Wilson. Well, nah, man, I think Jimmy. No. Jimmy is nowhere near Russell Wilson's level. Nowhere. Ain't even in the same conversation. Mentioning them in the same breath, somebody should punch me now. It's not right.
Yeah.
Russell is that good. Russell took people don't remember. Russell took Matt Flynn's job. Remember Matt Flynn had that good year when Rodgers was out? And they paid him that big money?
Yeah.
And Russell came in and said, "No, thank you, Matt. Go sit down." And then after Russell started, you know what they did? They said, "Hey, Matt, get up out of here, man. We'll give you the guaranteed money. Just go. We don't even need you."
Right.
But it's either Aaron Rodgers or Matt Ryan for me. Those are my two picks. I want nothing to do with the trash, worthless Sam Darnold, who's done nothing in the league since he's been here. And I don't want anything to do with broke back Matt Stafford.
Man.
I know where you went. I see bro's face. Bro's face. He was like, "Wait a minute." I'm literally talking about the man's actual back, his spine. Backbone, not the movie. The Cowboys, and
Man, okay. Hypothetical, like, do you think we can afford? Say we keep Jimmy G one more year. Get a veteran, another veteran, and then draft a quarterback. And if the veteran do you think we can afford having like a Dak or a Ryan, Aaron? If we get one of those tier guys, Jimmy G's out then.
The money. It's the money. Yeah. That's the problem that we have. It's the money.
Yeah.
So you can't have that going.
Even though if we offload like D4 next year.
No, because what I'll tell you is this is what I would tell you, and I'll make this short, and I'll give it to Kev. You can't have two starting quarterbacks. Yeah. There was a dude that was going back and forth with me in a forum on Facebook for 49er fans, trying to tell me that we could afford to have Matt Stafford and Jimmy G on the same team, because Matt would take a pay cut to come back to Kyle. I hit him with the laughing emoji about a billion times. Let me tell you this, and I'm not Matt Stafford, Matt Ryan. If you are Matt Ryan, you don't think you're a backup quarterback. You know you're a starter. You know somebody's going to pay you at a bare minimum $30 million to touch that field. Why, on God's green earth, would you come to San Francisco and back up somebody you feel like you're better than? It doesn't make sense
at all.
And with Dak, let me tell you this. If Dak gets healthy, we're going to see Jerry Jones is going to be real pissed off because he's going to have to break him off. He's going to have to break him off because look at what's happening now with these little trash. Oh, you thought Andy Dalton. The man who can't win a playoff game, the man who sat in Cincinnati all them years and did nothing, you thought he was going to be your savior? You started some dude named Brian Demichi. I don't even know this dude's name. And now you're looking to start somebody besides that kid. Y'all in a quarterback carousel. And only way that they don't pay Dak is if they tank enough to get Trevor. If they can draft Trevor and string him along, Dak will walk free. And I tell you this, if he comes here, I'm gonna welcome him with open arms. Come on, Dak, bring it in, baby. Give me a hug. You got some of that Oikos yogurt? Go ahead, bring the Oikos yogurt. I eat it with you, baby. I'm trying to get a little slim thick over here, get muscled up on him. Let's go. I'll take Dak. Why? Because he's a dual threat quarterback. And Dak is smart enough in the pocket, and he knows what to do. And he can, man, you get Dak. If you put Dak in this offense, it'll work.
Right.
So, no, we can't keep those dudes.
And listen, I don't give a damn about your love affair for Jimmy G. But if you think we're going to keep paying Jimmy G all this money, and you back next year, let me tell you something. It's the top of the third, and you shooting free throws. That's how lost you is. It's the top of the third, and you shooting free throws. Go on somewhere.
Exactly. And if you don't figure out what Silverado Kev said, you've way more than lost. You got a lot of problems. Okay. I'm gonna break it down for you people. He was talking about basketball and baseball. If you didn't know. Okay. In the top of the third in baseball, you got plenty of time to catch up. But I'm gonna tell you right now, but you shooting them free throws, you looking like Shaq. You're looking like Shaq. You gotta miss it. But nah, we can't. It's just the money, man. The money. Right. Even offloading D Ford, because you can't pay two starters, because the thing is if you're gonna have that kind of a situation and it's gonna be competitive like that, what will happen is one's going to cancel out the other. Look at what happened in Philly. Why do you think Nick Foles had to be gone? You couldn't pay him enough to back up Carson Wentz. He knew winning that Super Bowl was going to garner him a big payday. So what did he do? He went and got paid. Now he's with Chicago and he looked like hot garbage, but he got his money. And he can say he won a Super Bowl. There's a lot of quarterbacks out there that are way better than he'll ever be in his career. But they can't say they won a Super Bowl. Look at Dan Marino, one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever touch a football field. Never won a Super Bowl. You saw him in Little Nicky. You saw him in the movie Little Nicky, begging the devil to give him a Super Bowl. And he said, "No, man." And then he looked. He said, "He was a nice guy, Dad. Why didn't you give him one?" He said, "He just seemed like a really nice person." He said, "Anyway, I'm a Jets fan."
Oh man. Okay.
Divisional rival.
Yeah. Straight. Okay. I would love to have Matt Ryan or Aaron Rodgers. I don't know about Dak because his ankle is all jacked up. I don't know if he's gonna be good by next season.
He's young. Right? He's real young. Let me tell you something. When you young, your body. When you young, your body heal different. And with the type of technology that we have, and the money that Dak got paid this year, I'm guaranteeing you he can get the top traders to get himself in shape and be ready for next season. Yeah. Because next season is going to be different. They already have their COVID protocols, so we will have an off season. Most likely they'll shorten the preseason to 2 games. We'll have our training camp. All of the things that we normally are doing will go back to normal next year. Yeah. And I can tell you that in all honesty, because at the end of the day, people want to open up. Money needs to be made. And you will have fans in the stands next year, mark my words. Okay. Because Jed ain't going to be losing no more money paying rent on a stadium that big. You ain't got nobody in there to buy nothing. You ain't buying no beer. You're not buying no hot dogs. You're not buying no nachos. You're not buying peanuts. You're not buying red vines. It's a lot. There's money being lost. And I'm going to tell you right now, money talking, you know what walk. So fans will be in the stands next year, and the off season will continue. Look at what they're doing with the NBA. They trying to start up December 22nd.
Yes. I was just going to say that. Get out my head, Charles. Like, it's going to start already. They want their money. They know it. The TV contracts. This is bread, baby. Bread.
Man, that's crazy, man. Hey, man, it's about that time, man. It's over past an hour, guys. Man, that was good. But, man, love you guys on the show, man. Thanks for joining, man. I really appreciate that, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate you having me on the show. Thank you so much. I hope I didn't talk too much and suck up too much time.
Heck no.
Thank you so much for having me on, man. It's an honor. Man. I've watched y'all since the beginning, and I seen that explosion, boy. Y'all numbers are skyrocketing, and I love it.
We trying, man. You know, but it wouldn't be nothing, because without you guys too, so. But yeah, like that being said, man, thanks again. We'll definitely, if you guys gonna watch this the playback, I'm gonna have the links of to Kev's Twitter and Deon's YouTube channel. So man, give these guys a follow, man. So yeah, definitely, man. With that being said, man, we out, guys. Peace.
All right.
This is Kendrick Bourne from the San Francisco 49ers. You're watching the Niners All Day Show. What up, Bronze? What up, Dre? Let's get it, man. Yee!